You only live once, so put down that chemical reactor. Today's lesson we're gonna learn how to factor. All the trinomials have a leading coefficient, and my technique will teach you how to be more efficient.
So don't get too crazy, it's not worth the risk. You know that we are still young, so don't be dumb.
In the previous lesson, all of the trinomials that we were factoring did not have a number out in front. It did not have a leading coefficient. So we were just able to find factors of c that added up to b, and we were able to fill in our binomial. However, having a number in front just makes it a little bit more complicated, but we're going to approach it with a similar idea. So, in the previous lesson, all of our trinomials started with x squared. Maybe we would have plus 6x plus 5. And then we always knew the first parts are going to be x and x because x times x is x squared. However, it changes a little bit because it's not x squared, it's 2x squared. So you can't just assume it's x and x. We might have a number in front of x. So that's what makes this a little bit more complicated. We have to first look at what are my factors of 2, and they're going to fall into the front part of both of our binomials. And then we want to look at factors of 12, and they're going to fall into the second part of our binomial. But we have lots of different options, so we basically have to do kind of a guess and check. And then we guess, and then we check it by doing the FOIL and figure out which method is going to get us that middle term. So for today's lesson, I am just teaching you the method of guess and check. However, there is another way of doing this. It's more of a systematic step-by-step process, and I call that the AC method. But that will be a different video. For now, let's start by just looking at what are my factors of 2. Well, it's only 2 times 1. It makes it a little easier when that front number, the leading coefficient, only has one set of factors. If it only has one set, we automatically know that one is going to go here and the other one will go here, both of them with an x. So 2x and x. Next step, we have to look at what are my factors of 12. There's 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Now the guess and check, you not only have to pick one of these sets to guess, you then also have to guess where they go. You know, if I pick the 2 and the 6, does the 2 go here and the 6 go here, or is it switched? So sometimes you have to make a few guesses before you get the right answer. So let's make our first guess with a plus 2 and a plus 6. So here's a guess, and then to check it, think about FOIL. We've already guaranteed that the first matches up, because 2x times x is 2x squared. And we've also already guaranteed that the last matches up, because those are factors of 12. 2 times 6 is 12. So that's guaranteed. The only thing you have to check is the outside and the inside. So, check. 2x times 6 is 12x, and 2 times x is 2x. Is 2x plus 12x 11x? No, it is not. So, we made our first guess, but in the check it didn't work, so we have to guess again. Let's try 3 and 4 this time. Let's say I plug in 3 here, so plus 3, and then I plug in 4 here, plus 4. So let's see, for the guess, 2x times 4 is 8x, and 3x, or 3 times x is 3x, and 3x plus 8x is 11x. So when we checked it, you're just checking the outside and the inside and see if you can get the middle term. And in this case, we did. So this right here is our final answer. 2x plus 3 times x plus 4. Alright, for the second one, we have 3x squared plus 14x minus 5. So once again, let's look at the factors of the first term, 3. And it's just 3 times 1. So, pretty easy since there's only one set. We know one will go here and the other will go here. And then we have to look at factors of negative 5. And it's either negative 5 times 1 or a positive 5 times a negative 1. And then we're going to guess and stick one of them here and one of them here. And then you guess and then you check and hopefully get one that works. Starting out, let's just put in our 3x and then our 1x. And then let's just make a guess with this first one, negative 5 and 1. So remember, you have to guess on the set and then have to guess on the placement. So I'll just plug in minus 5 plus 1. And to do the check, you check the outside and the inside. Outside would give you 3x, inside would give you negative 5x. But when you combine them, you don't get 14. And really, the more that you do this, it just turns out that you get better at guessing, that you don't have to do a million tries, that you'll start to do a little bit of math in your head and you'll make a really good guess and get the answer a lot quicker. So to make a better guess, let's think about, we want to get to 14, and we have a 3 here. What could we multiply the 3 by to get close to 14? We'd want to multiply by 5. So maybe we want to put the plus 5 here, so 3 times 5 is 15, and then if we put the negative 1 here, negative 1x, so we'd have 15x and then minus 1x, there, that gives us 14. So our actual final answer is 3x minus 1 times x plus 5. So you'll get better at the guessing game the more that you do. Alright, so here's the last problem, 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. We start out by looking at the factors of the leading coefficient. 6 has 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Anytime that the front number has more than one set of factors, it does make it a little more complicated. So this is why I have 2 different sets of binomials, so we can look at both using one with x and 6x, and then the other one with 2x and 3x. Now we have to look at the factors of negative 3. Factors of negative 3 are 3 times negative 1 and negative 3 times 1. So when we make a guess on one of those sets, we have to place it in both binomials and check which one looks like it might give us the right answer. So I'm going to just pick the second one, negative 3 and 1, and I'll just make a guess. Negative 3 plus 1, negative 3 plus 1. And then to do the check, you're going to do outside and inside. So outside, that gives us 1x, and inside, that will give you negative 18x. So negative 18 plus 1 does not give us negative 7. So it doesn't work there. Let's look down here. 2x times 1 is 2x, and negative 3 times 3 is negative 9x. And negative 9 plus 2, hey, that works. It's negative 7. So on the second guess, we got the right answer. Sometimes you'll guess the right on the first try, sometimes it's the second try, sometimes it could even be the third, fourth, or fifth try, but hopefully you'll get better at this, and it will only take you 1 or 2 guesses before you figure it out. You really have to be patient with these types of problems and not give up. I want you to stay with them until you get the right answer. And remember, you only live once.
This life is a precious gift, so don't get too crazy. It's not worth the risk. You know that we are still young, so don't be dumb. Don't trust anyone.
'Cause you only live once.